What will happen when your planet Venus in horoscope, Venus or 7th Lord or your Darakaraka planet is in conjunction with some other planet? What kind of results you'll get? What can you say about your spouse or partner's nature, personality? And what sort of relationship you're going to have with your spouse or partner? You can decode all of that when you look at the planet with which Venus, 7th Lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction. Now, there could be a conjunction of more than one planet with Venus. In that case, you need to blend the results. Today I'll talk about Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka's conjunction with a certain planet. Venus is the natural 7th Lord in the chart of the cosmic man, and Venus or 7th Lord, they stand for your partner with whom you may also be in a romantic relationship. So either your romantic partner or your spouse. But Darakaraka is a planet which is specifically connected to your spouse or life partner. So what will happen when any three of these planets, when any one of these planets, Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka, when they will be in conjunction with a certain planet, what results you're going to get? We'll discuss that, and also what will happen when Venus is retrograde or combust. So friends, welcome to this video. Now, if Venus is retrograde, alright, then you will see that Venus is your relationship. Whether it is committed, whether it is just a romantic relationship. So you will tend to go back to the past. It will not be possible for you to forget your past relationship or relationships. So that happens when Venus is retrograde. You hold on to the past very fondly, or it's not very easy for you to even move on. This happens when Venus is retrograde. Alright? So, and friends, we can say that that's about retrograde. When Venus is combust, and here Venus or 7th Lord, if any of these planets is retrograde, then this can happen. When 7th Lord is retrograde, then we can say that your partner may be, when 7th Lord or Darakaraka, if any of these two planets is retrograde, then your partner may have a tendency to be indecisive, or they may tend to review things a lot. Whatever they have done, whatever they have said, whatever they have planned, they will go on reviewing the past. This can happen, and they can be indecisive at times. Okay? So now friends, what will happen when Venus is combust or 7th, say Venus is combust? Then the results of Venus will be, delivered by Sun. Look at how Sun is placed in your chart. Alright? So if Sun is well placed, then you will get more or less good results. You can have finally you can have a good relationship or a harmonious relationship with your partner. So if Venus is combust, the results will be delivered by Sun. I keep getting these comments, so I wanted to address them in the very introduction. And so even if same applies to both Darakaraka and 7th Lord, if they are combust, then how your Sun is placed. If Sun is well placed, then your 7th Lord and Darakaraka, that means your partner also will be somebody who will have a wonderful personality. So you should look at the dispositor again. That is very important. Even if Venus is debilitated, say Venus is in Virgo, then look at how Mercury is placed in the chart. If Mercury is well placed, you can get good results pertaining to your relationship. All right, so all these things we can say, friends, and yeah, so now without much delay, let's move into the discussion and just have a look at the sample chart quickly. Okay friends, so this is a sample chart, D1 chart, all right, and this is a D9 chart or Navamsha chart. So this is the structure of a chart, and here you have all the planets and the zodiac signs. You can see this is the chart of a native D1 chart. So this native, you can see, is a Cancer ascendant. This is the birth chart. Venus is in the 7th house in Capricorn. All right, so we see that in the same house itself, Venus is in conjunction with Uranus. Okay, the planet of unpredictability, innovation, Uranus. Venus is in conjunction with Uranus. All right, in Bhrigu Nadi Jyotish, we also look at the trine of Venus. The Venus is in connection with which planets in its trine. Okay, so mostly we see, let us point out at certain conjunctions as per the trine in Bhrigu Nadi Jyotish. Venus is in trine to Saturn, you can see here, and again Venus is in trine to Mercury. Okay, so then Mercury and Saturn, they will also influence Venus to a great extent. Okay, because Mercury and Saturn, they have a trinal relationship with Venus. Now if I come to the D9 chart, this is the Navamsha chart, chart of fortune or marriage. So basically chart of fortune, the D9 chart. So here the native has in the ascendant the sign of Pisces. Venus is in the 4th house, all right, in Gemini. So in the Navamsha chart, the native has Venus Rahu conjunction. The native has Venus Rahu conjunction in the same house itself, in the 4th house. In trine to Venus, you see that there is Moon. So this is Moon is in trine to Venus, and again Mars is also in trine to Venus. So you see here Mars is in trine to Venus. So mostly I'm pointing out these two planets. So Moon and Mars, they are in trine to Venus in the D9 chart. So these planets also can influence the relationship with the partner after marriage. Mars and Moon, they will also influence the relationship after marriage, because this D9 chart gets activated after marriage, or it is the chart of your fortune after you're in a committed relationship also. This can definitely get activated. All right, so friends, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, then do subscribe and press the all notification bell so that you get access to such videos on astrology. So now let's get started. Relationship you can have with your partner. So definitely if Sun is more or less well placed, by that I mean look at the zodiac sign in which Sun is placed. If Sun is in a zodiac sign, the lord of which is more or less well placed in the horoscope, you can look at this conjunction in your D1 and D9 both. So conjunction is when a planet is together with Sun in the same house, or if the planet is in trine to Sun, then also it's considered to be a powerful conjunction in Bhrigu Nadi Jyotish. That I mean to say, if Sun is in trine to Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka planet, okay, either in your D1 or D9, or if Sun and Venus, or Sun and 7th Lord and Sun and Darakaraka, if they are together in the same house, then if Sun's dispositor is more or less well placed, then definitely it can be a relationship which will be based on spiritual love, spiritual connection, soul connection. All right, and your partner can also be somebody who's very ethical, morally upright, very dutiful. Okay, Your partner may be somebody who's very generous, self-dependent, also who has a sense of self-esteem, who is self-confident. So someone who will always, stick to their own values and principles. And somebody who is also, who can be at times even playful, who can be friendly, who loves to even travel, and who is someone who loves to explore the world also. So all these qualities. Someone who believes in gaining knowledge, okay, as someone who may be creative. So all these qualities your partner can have, and your partner may have these qualities. If Sun is in more or less good dignity, then we can say that. Then also we can say that your partner may be intuitive also, all right. And also we can say that your partner may at times, have ego problems. That means there could be certain ego clashes in the relationship. This will happen if Sun is again being aspected by Rahu or a certain malefics. Then definitely we can say if again Sun is also in close conjunction with Mars and it's happening in fiery signs, then there can be ego clashes, ego problems also in the relationship, all right. But if Sun is in Cancer, it's a water sign, and in Cancer Sun is believed to give good results. Then your partner can also be somebody who's very morally upright and emotional also, very emotional, very caring, who would love to be a provider, and so on. So all these things we can say. Now friends, what else we can say? If you have to look at the dignity of Sun, how Sun is placed, and Venus and Sun, or Venus 7th Lord or Darakaraka in conjunction. So definitely your relationship with your partner will be influenced by the planet Sun. Also your partner's nature will be influenced by planet Sun, okay. So your relationship will work if it is based on spiritual love. So that is what your partner is seeking, and that is what will make your relationship successful. When you have soul connection with your partner, so that is very important. Your partner also can be somebody who is very optimistic, who will want to bring about a positive change in their life, and who will want to embrace positive change, and who will also be someone who believes in gaining knowledge, who will give a lot of importance to knowledge, who will give a lot of importance to creativity. They may also be interested in their own independent venture. Even if they can do some job, later on they may think of doing something of their own. That is also possible, okay. So all these things we can say, friends, when Venus is in conjunction with Venus 7th Lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Sun, and Sun, we know that Sun's own zodiac sign is Leo, and Sun also exalts in Aries, okay. So your person will have, no matter how Sun is placed in whichever sign, so especially if it is in fire signs, they will be very energetic, they can be very active also, they will believe, they can have great intuition power, and they will believe in gaining knowledge and in learning new skills and all that, and acquiring knowledge. You will get very good results if Sun is in fire signs. But one thing may happen, that your partner may be a little hot-headed, and they may at times lose their temper, or they may have they may at times have an inflated ego. So ego clashes again can be there if it is in fire signs. This can happen, but otherwise they will be very knowledgeable and creative if it is happening in fire signs. Now what else we can say, friends? If Sun is in your if sun is your sun is in conjunction with any of these planets, then if sun is in water signs, especially Cancer and even other water signs, they can be very intuitive, even in Scorpio, okay, even Pisces, that can make them creative and intuitive. So look at the zodiac sign also in which the sun is placed, okay. So if sun is in earth signs, then they will want to gain knowledge, but they will also their personality will be such that they will be practical if sun is in earth signs. So like that, and they will want to gain knowledge by dint of their hard work and diligence and efforts if sun is in earth signs. If sun is in air signs, then they will again give a lot of importance to knowledge, to gaining knowledge in life. So all these things we can say, friends. Look at the zodiac, the type of zodiac sign in which sun is placed. So that will say in which element it is there, the zodiac sign. That will say a lot about the nature of your spouse because or partner, because the planet which signifies your spouse or partner, Darakaraka, 7th Lord, or even Venus, which signifies your partner, especially in case of the male native, but Venus can also signify the partner even in case of female native, because Venus is the natural 7th Lord in the chart of the Kalpurusha. So Venus is basically your relationship. So all these things we can say about your partner and relationship when any of these planets is in conjunction with Sun. Now let's move on to the next conjunction. What will happen when your Venus or 7th Lord or the Darakaraka planet is in conjunction with Moon? First of all, we'll talk about your partner's nature. They will be very emotional by nature. Okay? There could be a lot of fluctuations in the relationship. Because Moon, we know about Moon. Moon is always in a flux, in a state of flux. We know about the waxing and waning phases of the Moon. So relationship will undergo changes. So at times there will be great chemistry and both of you will connect with each other very well. And at times, there will be great companionship. There will be great emotional attachment. At times, again, there may be some lack of emotional connection. That is also possible. So fluctuations in the relationship that Moon can show. Also, it can show that your person may be somebody who suffers from mood swings. Now your Venus is also with Moon. So in matters of relationship, you may also see a lot of instability in life. So relationship may not be stable. This can happen. So lack of stability in relationship when Venus is in conjunction with Moon, this can happen. So you are basically looking for a partner who will respond to your emotions and who will be very emotionally sensitive. But when you feel that your partner is not able to respond to your emotions properly, then you may get frustrated, and then you may not be able to be in that relationship. This is possible. So you are basically looking for someone who's very who has deep rooted emotional attachment with you. So that is possible. So some relationship may be unstable. This may happen unless Moon is in earth signs. If Moon is in earth signs like Taurus or Capricorn, then there can be stability because it is in earth signs. Otherwise, instability in the relationship. If Moon is in air signs, then also it can show some sort of instability because your thoughts and views will keep changing regarding relationship. Even your partner's thoughts may keep changing. This is possible. Okay? So if Moon is in air signs, this may happen. Some at times there may be certain arguments also if moon is in air signs. Now if moon is in I told you about water signs. If moon is in water sign, if moon is in water signs, then your person may be very emotional, very emotionally sensitive, and in your relationship may not be that stable, because water sign, no? So water is something which is fluid, and it is not, it, it will take the shape of any vessel where it is put into, and it is something which keeps flowing. So when moon is in water sign also, it shows that unless it is fixed water, like Scorpio shows fixed water, then it is okay. I mean, intensely passionate relationship with partner, that also can be seen because it is fixed water. Otherwise, water signs can show that the relationship may be, unstable. It can show. Now fire signs, in fire signs also lots of changes can come about in the relationship because of certain ego problems. This is possible. So changes may come about in the relationship because of any reason, because fire signs are signs of change. Okay. So if moon is in Leo, and because Leo is fixed fire, so if your partner and you are loyal to each other, then the relationship will work actually. Okay. So now let's move on to what will happen. So all these things we can say about your partnership, what sort of relationship you will have, and your partner's nature. Okay, if Darakaraka 7th Lord or Venus is in conjunction with Moon, and Moon's dispositor, say the zodiac sign in which Moon is placed, the Lord of that is also more or less well placed in the horoscope, then your partner may be somebody who's very creative, creative, intuitive. They can also be compassionate towards the needy or towards anyone who's in need of help. They can have a lot of compassion. So very emotionally sensitive also they can be. They can have great intuition, and they can also be someone who can be very caring towards you. So all these things are possible. You may require to travel a lot with your or your partner may undertake a lot of travel, but your Venus is with Moon, so because of your relationship also, or after your marriage, you may travel with your partner. That's also possible when you have Venus, Moon, or if Darakaraka and or 7th Lord is with Moon, then also a lot of travel can be seen after marriage or in the partnership, in the relationship. So all these things we can say. Alright, so you should undertake travel when Moon is connected to Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka. That will be good for the relationship. If you undertake travel, the relationship will, kind of flourish, or it will kind of improve also. So traveling is good for you and your partner. So if you do that, what will happen? Your relationship will also attain some sort of stability. So all these things we can say. Alright, now let's move on to the next planet. What will happen when your Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Mars? By conjunction I mean they are together in the same house, or they can be in trine to each other. That is also conjunction as per Bhrigunandinari Jyotish. Now Mars, how it is placed? Mars is the dispositor, that is, look at the zodiac sign in which Mars is placed, and how the Lord of that zodiac sign, which is Mars's dispositor, how it is placed in your chart. You can look at both D1 and D9 charts. Now first we'll talk about the personality and nature of your partner. Your partner may be somebody who is very energetic. Alright, especially if Mars is in fire signs, they will be very energetic, very active. They will love to remain busy with work. They will have a lot of courage, passion. You can have a very passionate relationship also with your partner. All right, that's possible. They will want to take initiative. They will want to begin new things. They will, even if they're doing some job, they will always have a desire to do something of their own, some independent venture or business. So yeah, all these things, and they will be hardworking, disciplined, structured. They will make efforts to rise in life. They can also have competitive spirit. Now, but again, if Mars is not in good dignity, dispositor not so well placed, and if Mars is in fire signs, and we can say that at times they may be hot-headed, they may lose their temper, they may get angry, they may get angry, they may have anger issues. So these things are also possible, so they may be, at times they may come across as someone who's arrogant and short-tempered. That is also possible. Now, if Mars is in water signs, then it is seen that definitely, after all, water, Mars is basically a fiery planet. So if it is in water signs, then definitely they can be thoughtful, intuitive, even creative. So these things are possible if it's in water signs. They can be very intuitive actually, and very creative. If Mars is in fire also, they will be creative and intuitive, but they can at times be hot-headed and very impulsive in making decisions, especially if it's in fire signs. Very impulsively they may make certain decisions, and later on they may have to repent. If Mars is in earth signs, you will get wonderful results, because Mars exalts in the earth sign of Capricorn, and even in earth signs it will do well. Look at the dispositor. Say if it is in Taurus, Mars is in Taurus, look at how Venus is placed. If it is more or less well placed, you will get wonderful results. Your person will be very hardworking, methodical, structured, disciplined. Okay, all these things. So air signs, if Mars is in air signs, they can be a great researcher, very creative. Again, they will be very intelligent, they will have great intellectual depth. They will want to do research, investigation, and wonderful. Even if Mars is in air signs, any of the air signs, they can be very ambitious in life, very hardworking. They will make efforts, and they'll be very ambitious and very intelligent. That's possible. They can have great argumentative ability if it's in air signs. So all these qualities will be now associated with your partner. Yes. And what about your relationship with your partner? So yeah, so definitely again look at the element of the zodiac sign in which Mars is placed. That will say a lot about the relationship. Okay, so depends now. So if Mars is in fire signs, your relationship, at times your person will be very passionate about you, but at times they may get angry, with you for certain reasons, and they may lose their temper also. But again, if Mars is in Scorpio, they'll be highly passionate in the relationship. They can be highly sexually attracted to you. That's also possible. And all right, so all these things. And if it's in water signs also, they can be very thoughtful. They can be deep thinkers, and as far as the relationship is concerned, it can be based on deep-rooted, intense passion. Especially if it's in water signs. Now, if it is in air signs, then both of you may have a lot of intellectual discussions also. It's possible, but nevertheless, they can be, they will have that sense of attraction for you. But yeah, at times there can be quarrels in the relationship. It's possible. So when Mars is with your Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka, it shows that no matter in what element of zodiac sign it is, at times, because Mars is the planet of ups and downs, so the relationship will not remain that stable all the time. So ups and downs in the relationship will be there even more. Now you may say that in every relationship, people go through ups and downs. Yes, but when any of these planets is in conjunction with Mars, you will feel it even more, because Mars is the planet of transformation, ups and downs, and so on. Okay, yeah, so all these things we can say. And I think I've covered the elements: air signs, water signs, fire signs, earth signs. Earth sign, if it's an earth sign, then the relationship can be relatively more stable. Yes, they will reach out to you and they will be hardworking. So they are very hardworking. So they will also make efforts in the relationship. Systematically, they will make efforts to reach out to you, to connect with you with all their passion, if it's an earth signs. So they can be great planners and strategists and all that. So yeah, so all these things we can say when Venus is in conjunction with Mars. Venus is Venus 7th lord or Darakaraka. Now if Venus is the planet of relationship, okay, so it means, and Mars is the planet of efforts and desire, so you must always have the desire to make efforts in the relationship. Your person also needs to make efforts. You also need to make efforts in the relationship. That's very important. So if you go on making efforts, no, your relationship will survive the test of time. So you should never give up on each other. You should go on making efforts in the relationship in order to make it successful. All right. So okay, now let's move on to the next planet. What will happen when your Venus or 7th lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with, okay, Mercury? What will happen? Okay, so if it's in conjunction with Mercury, we know that Mercury exalts in Virgo, and its own sign is also Gemini, which is an air sign. So Virgo is earth sign. These are Mercury's own signs. So in whichever sign Mercury is placed in your chart, and if your Venus or 7th lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Mercury, more or less what results you will get if Mercury, look at the dispositor of Mercury, how Mercury's dispositor is placed in the chart. Mercury may be together with any of these planets, Venus, 7th lord or Darakaraka, in the same house, or Mercury may be in their trine as per Bhrigu Nadi Jyotish. Look at these placements in your D1 and D9. Okay, so if you have conjunction with if any of these planets has conjunction with Mercury, then definitely, first of all, the nature of your partner may be very intelligent. Okay, they may have great ideas, they can have great sense of humor, they can be very fun loving, they can be very friendly. Okay, so when it comes to your relationship, you should travel together, you should undertake short distance travels, all kinds of travels, you should do fun things together, you can take recourse to role playing even during your intimate moments. So when Venus is with Mercury, we can say all of that. You should be very friendly to each other in the relationship, because Venus is also the planet of relationship. Okay, so all these things we can say when Venus is with Mercury. Basically the relationship should be based on friendship. Okay, and so with friendship comes laughter, fun, merrymaking, travels, and doing all kinds of fun activities together. So all of that we can say. And now again, your person's nature, that will depend. Look at the element of the zodiac sign. If Mercury is in air signs, what will happen? They will be very intelligent, they will have great ideas, they can do very well in the field of research, investigation, technology. If Mercury is in air signs, all right, you can have great intellectual discussions with your partner also. They can be very humorous, very intelligent, they can make fun of things, and they can be someone who's very funny and who has a true sense of humor. All right, it'll always be fun to be with them, and you will enjoy their company a lot. Okay, so all these things we can say if Mercury is in air signs. Now if Mercury is in earth signs, and if it's in conjunction with your Venus or 7th lord or Darakaraka, then your person will be very strategic, very systematic, structured, methodical, goal oriented in their approach to relationship, to everything in life actually, so to their work also. So they'll have a very systematic approach to work. Okay, so all these things we can say. They'll be very analytical by nature. They'll have great analytical powers if Mercury is in earth signs, and great planners, great managerial skills also. They can have great strategists. They can be, and they can be very successful in their profession. They can be materialistic also, and they will want to amass wealth because of their profession or work. And yeah, it's all these things. If Mercury is in water signs, then what we can say, they can have creative skills, imaginative powers, faculties, very intuitive they can be. All right, so all these qualities they can have. If Mercury is in fire signs, then what we can say, if it is in fire signs, again, every time look at the dispositor, how it is placed in your chart. So if it is in fire signs, we can say that they will want to, they will give a lot of importance to gaining knowledge. Okay, and at times they may be impulsive, but they will want to gain knowledge. Yes, they will believe in bringing about a positive change in their life by dint of their knowledge, if it's in fire signs. If it's in fire signs also, they may love to travel. Yes, it's I've seen that. So all these qualities. Now, what about your relationship? What sort of relationship you will have? That depends on the dispositor, how Mercury's dispositor is placed. If it is more or less well placed in the chart, and if Mercury is not under affliction, and if it's in conjunction with your Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka, what sort of relationship you can have? Your relationship can be based on friendship. Okay, it can be, both of you can have a lot of fun with each other. You will love to communicate with each other. Communication will be the key thing in your relationship. So in fact, your relationship will be based on communication, healthy, meaningful communication. All right, so all these things are possible. And what else we can say? We can also say that your person will have great ideas, and the relationship also can be very it can be a very beautiful, friendly bond. So yes, all these things we can say. And yeah, so all these things. If Mercury is not so well placed, then what will happen? Then there will be problems in communication, some lack of communication. There will be communication gap between you and your partner. All these things can happen. All right, so again, there can be conflicts with your partner if Mercury's dispositor is not so well placed. It can also show problems with the partner, and so it can lead to even multiple relationships. That's also possible. So yeah, infidelity, it can lead to even infidelity in relationship. So all these things are also possible if Mercury's dispositor is not so well placed. So now let's move on to what will happen when your Venus or 7th Lord or your Darakaraka is in conjunction with Saturn. What will happen? So if it is in conjunction with Saturn, find out how Saturn is placed in the chart. Okay, so if Saturn is more or less well placed, that means look at the dispositor. All right, Saturn's dispositor should be more or less, just a moment friends, well placed. The zodiac sign in which Saturn is placed, the lord of that sign, if it is more or less well placed, then we say that the dispositor is well placed. Okay, so then definitely your first we'll talk about the qualities of your partner. They can be very disciplined, hardworking. They can be very responsible towards you, very mature. Okay, they can have a lot of maturity. Either they may be mature in age or in experience, and they can have a lot of they can have great analytical powers, and they will be very balanced also in their judgment. That's possible, because when Saturn is in good dignity and it's in conjunction with any of these planets, they can have a great sense of justice. Okay, so they will believe in a harmonious relationship, and they will believe in long-term goals, attaining long-term goals in relationship and all that, because they have a great level of maturity, and they have that maturity to handle the relationship. When Venus is in conjunction with Saturn, or 7th Lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Saturn, and if Saturn is in good dignity, all these good qualities can be there in your partner. Again, now if Saturn's dispositor is not so well placed, and if Saturn is under affliction, then what will happen? Then you may be distanced from your partner. That's possible. Your partner may get distanced from you. Okay, so even if you're living under the same roof, because there are certain liabilities, maybe after marriage you have a child, so you're living together maybe for the sake of the child, but you may get distanced from each other somehow in spite of staying under the same roof. That also can happen. I've seen in many charts of couples, okay, that they do not have any relation as such, and they sometimes don't even talk to each other. So much of distance is there. Saturn can show that detachment and distance. That can also happen. If Saturn's dispositor is not so well placed, then it can happen. Check both in your D1 and D9 charts. Then all these things. But then if Saturn's dispositor is more or less well placed, and if it is in good dignity, then definitely there can be a very wonderful relationship. Your partner will be so mature, so well balanced, and in their approach to things, they will believe in a harmonious, balanced relationship, because Saturn exalts in Libra. Libra is the sign of balance. So they will believe in that sort of harmonious, balanced, give and take with you, and they'll be very responsible towards you, and it'll be a wonderful thing. They will make long-term goals. They will set long-term goals for the relationship, and and they can also have great analytical powers, and it'll be a wonderful relationship then. Okay, so when Venus is with Saturn, I have also seen that initially in the relationship there could be certain problems, but if the relationship somehow stands the test of time, then eventually both of you can have a wonderful relationship, because Saturn gives you good results with time, and after you attain the age of 33, 35, after that age onwards, Saturn starts giving you wonderful results, and then both of you attain maturity, and the relationship is so wonderfully managed, or handled by both of you. So that happens when you attain also certain level of maturity of understanding in life, understanding relationships, issues, and so on. So when Venus is with Saturn, it is also a suggestion: do not get married very early in life, otherwise there could be problems in the relationship, and there can even be separation with the partner. So after you attain a certain level of maturity, then you should get married actually. So it can also show delay in marriage when Venus is with Saturn, or it can show if Darakaraka Venus or 7th Lord is with Saturn, the partner may be from a different geographical region or from a different culture, foreign culture. The partner may belong to a different country maybe, or different region far away from you, where the culture is different. That's possible. Okay, so if that is the case, you will get better results. Okay, so all these things we can say when Venus is in conjunction with Saturn. Alright, so Venus 7th Lord or Darakaraka. So if Saturn is in earth signs, then definitely your person will be someone who's very hardworking, very disciplined, very structured, systematic in their approach to work. They will believe in hard work. They will believe in gaining wealth by dint of their hard work and diligence and efforts. They'll be very strategic in their planning. They will plan things out meticulously. They'll have great analytical powers also, and they'll plan everything very meticulously to reach their goals and targets. When Saturn is in earth signs, very structured, systematic, methodical in their approach to work, even in their approach to relationship. When Saturn is in air signs, what will happen? Your person can be, again, they can have great analytical powers. That's possible when Saturn is in air signs. So they can do very well in the field of research, investigation, even technology. Alright. And Saturn is in air signs. So all these qualities your person may have. So they need to make a lot of efforts in their profession. If they really make efforts, if they really gain knowledge, they will prosper in their profession. If Saturn is in fire signs, this is not considered to be that good, because Saturn feels uncomfortable in fire signs. Okay. If Saturn is in fire signs, then your person, especially in any sort of fire sign, in Aries or even in Leo, your person may at times make decisions which are not well thought out. It's possible. They can be a little impulsive in their actions, and later on they may have to repent all of that. That's possible, because Saturn in fire signs can compel your partner to act impulsively. But if Saturn is in Sagittarius, it is comparatively better, because Sagittarius is mutable fire, and definitely depends on how Jupiter is placed in the chart. Jupiter is more or less well placed, then you will get good results. Your person will be very ethical. They will believe in a sense of justice. They will believe in their responsibility a lot. So what will happen when Saturn is in water signs? Alright, Saturn is in water sign, that is any of the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Especially in Scorpio, they can be very intuitive, very analytical. Even in other water signs, that can make your person very analytical. They can have great ability to sense things, and so they can be intuitive, even creative. Their profession may be connected to some creative field also. It's possible. And all these things we can say when Saturn is in fire signs. Now, what else, friends? We can also say that Saturn is now with your Darakaraka or Venus or 7th Lord. So what about the relationship? So if the relationship is based on a sense of responsibility towards each other, then it will be wonderful. Okay. So if the relationship is based on understanding, if it's based on if it's a relationship which is very balanced and harmonious, it will be good. Otherwise, if Saturn, as I told you, if Saturn's dispositor is not so well placed, it can show some distance also, that some distance has set in, and somehow you're getting detached from your person. That is also possible. This can also show long distance relationship with your partner. Okay. So if you're in a long distance relationship, then it will be good for the relationship. Okay, friends, now let's move on to the next sign, which is next planet, which is Jupiter. Okay, so what will happen when your Venus or 7th Lord or your Darakaraka is in conjunction with Jupiter? Alright, so your person may be somebody who, first we'll talk about your person's nature. If Venus, Darakaraka or 7th Lord, they are together with Jupiter in the same house, or if they are in trine to Jupiter, as per Bhrigunandinari Jyotish, it is also a conjunction. Look at your D1 and D9 chart. Then what will happen? These qualities may be there in your person. If Jupiter's dispositor, the zodiac sign in which Jupiter is placed, the lord of that sign is the dispositor. If that planet is well placed in your chart, then your person will be very knowledgeable. They can have great wisdom. They can have great ability to pass judgment, and they can be very wise in making decisions. They can be a guide. You can turn to them for advice. Whenever you need advice, you may turn to them, and they will always be there to help you out. Okay, so that's possible. And so when it's in Jupiter, we can say that your person may be very optimistic also, but all these results you will get when you're when the dispositor of Jupiter is well placed, and if Jupiter is not getting much afflicted, then they will believe in optimism. They'll be goal oriented. Even if Jupiter has some connection with Rahu, then you will get good results. Your partner will get good results. If they are in the field of research, occult, technology, then it is good. Even if it is with Rahu, then also it will be good. Okay, so if they are moving into any sort of occult field, any sort of worship of any sort of deity that represents that energy of any sort of the energy of suppressing the devil by annihilating the devil, that sort of energy which is represented by goddess Durga. Sometimes people worship people who have Jupiter Rahu. They are great worshippers of goddess Durga, or any sort of goddess who shows that sort of violent, fierce energy which is required to suppress the devil and to demolish the devil. That's also possible. Okay, so that will depend. If your person is a worshipper of that sort of deity, then they will get good results. If they are into occult, if they are into research, technology, and Jupiter is in conjunction with Rahu, and Jupiter is connected to your 7th lord Darakaraka or Venus, then your person will be someone who's very knowledgeable, who will have great intuitive occult powers, spiritual practices they can be into, like that. If your person is from foreign land and Jupiter Rahu, and Jupiter is in connection with Venus and or 7th lord, then also your person may be connected to foreign lands, then also it is good. Or research, technology, then it is good. Otherwise, no. Rahu is also a planet which can show illusion, addictions and all that. So then, if any of these things is not fulfilled, any of these conditions which I mentioned just now, then we will see that addictions or all sorts of problematic, even antisocial activities, because Rahu can show all of that as well. Okay, so like that. So say if Jupiter's dispositor, the zodiac sign in which Jupiter is placed, if the lord of that sign, that planet is more or less well placed, then definitely we can say that your partner will have knowledge, will be a seeker of knowledge, will have great goals, will be goal oriented in life, will be somebody who is very adventurous. They'll be great risk takers. They'll be great adventurers. Okay, they will be great explorers. They will want to explore the world, explore things. They may love travel a lot. They will really love travel, and they can also travel to foreign lands. You can also travel with your partner to a foreign land after marriage, or after you're in a relationship with them. So all these things are also possible. When what else, what qualities your partner can have? So look at the dispositor. If Jupiter's dispositor is more or less well placed, then you will get all good results pertaining to Jupiter. They will have great knowledge, they will have great wisdom, they will believe in moral principles, they will stick to their ethics and morality no matter what. They will never compromise on their principles. They will be very dutiful, very responsible towards you. They'll respect their elders, they'll shoulder all their responsibilities very well, and they will also be very responsible towards you in the relationship. Okay, they'll be large-hearted, open-minded, and they will be broad-minded. Wonderful, all these results you will get. and they will be knowledgeable, and they will be a seeker of knowledge. They can also be very creative, very intuitive. They can be great advisors. They can also have great ability to manage things also. That's also possible. So they can be counselors. They can be into counseling, healing. They can be into they can be very religious, by the way, very religious, or even spiritual they can be. So all these things we can say, friends, and they will want to explore the world, travel to foreign places, and so on. Now, what sort of relationship you will have with your partner? The relationship will be a blessed relationship, or a blessed relationship you will have, because Jupiter is the planet which is the most benefic, and which is the most beneficial planet. And Jupiter is also connected, is also a planet which represents the divine, even God, because it is the natural lord of the 9th house in your horoscope. So Jupiter, wherever Jupiter is there, you have divine blessings there. Okay, so your relationship can be now blessed by the divine when you have Venus, Jupiter. Somehow some blessings, your relationship will receive. So initially in your relationship, maybe you faced problems, ups and downs, troubles, and maybe at times you felt there were certain low phases in the relationship when you felt that the relationship could even dissolve. It was on the verge of getting dissolved, or you were on the verge of getting separated. Maybe you felt that way also. There were times, but somehow you don't know how. Finally you ended up sticking to your person, and somehow your relationship survived the test of time. That is possible because there is some divine blessings now. That is some divine energy is showering its blessings upon your relationship. So that happens when Venus and Jupiter, or 7th Lord, is in connection with Jupiter, or Darakaraka is in connection with Jupiter. Because Jupiter is the ultimate benefic, which will always save you. It is the ultimate savior. But yes, the dispositor should not get afflicted. Okay, so that is one thing. Then you will get wonderful results. Your relationship will, may go through a lot of trials and tribulations, but finally it will survive the test of time. And you can see growth and expansion in life also because of your relationship. Your partner or your spouse also, they may also become prosperous in life. They may see growth and expansion in life. That is also possible. All these things we can say, friends. And so you may turn to your partner for advice. They may be able to guide you, give you suggestions. Okay. You may always feel relaxed when you think of your partner, and you always know that your partner is there no matter what. Okay, so that even if you quarrel, even if maybe you get angry, or even if you tell them that I'm going away to my parents' place, that your partner will finally has that power to bring you back, and everything will be all right. That. So even if there are quarrels, that it's a temporary phase. So yes, so that's what happens when Jupiter's benefic aspect is there on the relationship or on your partner. So all these things we can say, friends, because they will be they'll be great visionaries also. They'll have a vision of the future, and they are far-sighted because they have true knowledge. Your partner will have these qualities. So they can be forgiving. They will be forgiving. They're so large-hearted, and finally they will embrace you. So in spite of whatever has happened between the two of you. So all these things can happen. Alright. So okay, friends, now let's move on to the next conjunction. What will happen when your 7th Lord, Venus or Darakaraka, is in conjunction with Rahu? Okay. So what will happen now? So first I'll talk about the negative things, then I'll talk about the positive things. Okay. So first, your partner. what sort of nature. So if they are from a foreign country or foreign place or from foreign culture or from a different geographical region, then it is okay. Then all these negative things won't apply. If your partner is into the occult, if your partner is into spiritual practices, if your partner is into research, technology, then these things won't apply. If your partner is into secretive investigation, any sort of investigation, research, in any field of study, then these negative things which I'm going to mention, they won't apply. Okay? So all disclaimers I have given you. So now I'll talk about the negative things. Rahu can show addiction. Rahu can show the ultimate, outcast, the ultimate idol breaker, one who wants to, flout all rules, regulations, norms, one who doesn't want to conform to any sort of societal restrictions, that sort of mentality. So your partner can even take recourse to shortcuts to gain wealth. They may be immoral, or they may be engaged in immoral activities. They may compromise on their moral principles for their own benefits or pleasures. So they may be disloyal to you. That's possible. They may get into multiple relationships. They may be obsessed with sex or even intimate relationship, and they may keep changing partners. That is also possible. These are all negative things which can happen if your partner is not associated to foreign lands or foreign company job, or if they are not associated to technology or occult and research investigation, if they are not connected to any of these things. If your partner is into spiritual practices, they are worshipping some deity and they are totally into that worship or sadhana, then also they are excluded from the negative impacts. Otherwise, all these negative results can be there, any of these negative results. They may get into addiction, any sort of obsession they may have, any sort of obsessive compulsive desire they may have. They may be very secretive, very mysterious. They may hide things from you. They may be very deceptive, very selfish, self-centered, and very unpredictable in what they're going to do. And it can be a very problematic relationship for you. Okay? So all these negative things, they may betray your trust and all of that. But if Rahu, is connected to, if your partner is connected to technology, research, investigation, occult, spiritual practices and so on, even chartered accountancy and even investments, insurance, stocks and shares, if they're connected to any of these fields, any of the matters which is connected to 12th house or 8th house, if they're connected to all of that, then definitely we can say that your partner and you can have a normal, stable relationship. In fact, Rahu can show attachment. So the positive thing about the relationship could be that they can be very attached to you. That could be physical attraction, that could be physical, emotional attachment to you, spiritual attachment also, it can show. So depends now if Rahu's dispositor is well placed, because Rahu shows attachment. So it shows physical attachment. Physical and even emotional attachment, yes. Because Rahu is connected to the moon, it is called the north node of the moon. Yes, so all these things we can say. Now, you should, in order to, when Rahu is connected with Venus, 7th Lord or Darakaraka, if you and your partner, you undertake travel to foreign lands, then it's going to be good for the relationship. If you undertake travels to different places where the culture is different, to foreign places, or you go to other geographical regions, you travel to those places, you will get good results. The relationship will improve. Okay? So your relationship, lots of unpredictable things may happen. Suddenly you may meet somebody. It's possible when Rahu is there. Rahu shows sudden events also, unexpected events, unprecedented things in life. So yeah, that happens when Venus is with Rahu or 7th Lord or Darakaraka. Sudden things, or suddenly they may come into your life, and suddenly they may go away also from your life. God forbid. That also can happen, because Rahu is the planet of unpredictable events. Okay? So a lot of suddenness is there. So yeah, so all these things we can say. There could be certain conflicts in the relationship. That's possible. Yes, because when Rahu is there, it can show a problematic relationship if your partner is not connected to any of these fields which I mentioned just now. Then yeah, at times there can be conflicts with your partner. Alright, but nevertheless, your partner, if Rahu's dispositor is well placed, they can be very intelligent, very, very intelligent, very skillful. They may be very skillful, very intelligent, because Rahu is the head of the dragon's head, just as Ketu is the rest of the body or tail. Rahu is the head, so very intelligent, very, very vigilant. They can have great observation power, great reasoning ability, and highly intelligent. So they can do very well in the field of research, investigation, technology. Actually, great ability to scheme. I mean, they can be great. They are great at scheming, plotting, manipulating others also. They can be very diplomatic also. So that is why they can also do very well in the field of politics. Yes, because they are so diplomatic. So all these things we can say. So if they're using their energy, your partner, they need to realize that they have great, tremendous intellectual power they have. So if they use their intelligence, their observation skills along a positive, constructive direction, so if they get into research, investigation, technology, then they will get wonderful results. They need to channelize that Rahu energy along a positive direction. Otherwise, Rahu will Rahu will kind of exhibit its negative effects. That's what we need to channelize the Rahu energy along some constructive direction. So yeah, all these things about your partner, what sort of relationship. So relationship, I told you, it could be a sort of unconventional relationship also. The relationship may not be that traditional, unconventional. That's possible. And unpredictable. Things may happen suddenly in the relationship in a very unexpected way. So yeah, unexpected turn of events can mark your relationship. So all these things we can say. So yeah, all these things, friends, when 7th Lord Venus or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Rahu. Now what will happen when 7th Lord Venus or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Ketu? Conjunction means they are together with Ketu, any of them is together with Ketu in the same house, or if any of these planets is in trine to Ketu, as per Bhrigunandinari Jyotish, that is also conjunction. Look at your D1 and D9 charts. Now what will happen when any of these planets, Venus, 7th Lord or Darakaraka, is in conjunction with Ketu? Okay, first I'll talk about the negative things. If your person is not spiritual, and if they are not into research, investigation or technology, then there can be some detachment from the person. That is the first thing. Ketu can show spirituality, spiritual inclinations. Ketu can show spiritual practices, being very religious and spiritual by nature. Ketu can show all of that. Ketu can show great intellectual depth and the ability to do research, investigation. Ketu can show all of that. Ketu is also connected to occult, to solving mysteries, okay, to being engaged in secretive investigation. Okay, Ketu is connected to all of that, pretty much like Rahu. Rahu Ketu significations, so many significations are similar in case of Rahu and Ketu, because after all they are part of the same entity. The dragon's head is Rahu, the dragon's body and tail is Ketu. So significations are more or less similar, but Rahu is that energy which is expansive, expressive. Ketu is that energy which is based on contraction, not expansion, but contraction, moving inwards, going to the depth of things. Okay, so like that. So, but yes, if your partner is connected to research, investigation, occult, healing practices, if they're a psychologist, or if they're into astrology, you will get wonderful results. Any sort of occult practitioner they can also be a Vastu consultant. Any sort of occult practice they can be into, or they could be into research in any sort of investigation, healing practices, spiritual practices. Then definitely the relationship will be a blessed one. Okay, and it can be relatively stable also. Your person may be a surgeon, okay, also, or into any field of even legal investigation and anything. Okay, they could also be into healing others. Ketu is connected to healing. They can get into any sort of healing service. They may deal with Ayurvedic medicines and so on. Then also you will get good results. Otherwise, what will happen? Ketu can also show. Now Ketu is connected to the sign of Scorpio. Okay, so Ketu is connected to the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio we know is the sign of sexuality, even sexual intimacy, which can lead to transformation. So as a result of your sexual union, if there is a Ketu can show transformation in your life. Maybe you'll be blessed with a child, and then your relationship eventually will turn into a very deep-rooted spiritual connection. Then it is fine. Otherwise, Ketu is also a planet which can show detachment. That is also possible. Some sort of detachment may happen over time. Okay, Ketu can also show. Ketu shows not just breaking and splitting or separation or divorce. Ketu can also show joining. That is why for any marriage, Ketu's beneficial transit is also important, or Ketu should somehow be involved in any of the dashas. So Ketu's blessings is very important, because Ketu is that holy thread, that you wear around your neck, the female wears, which is the mark of, your marriage. In case of many cultures in India, that holy thread which is worn around the neck, and it holds various beads together, that holy, and that necklace actually, which is made of actually various beads which are bound together by that holy thread. So Ketu is the thread also which joins everything. Ketu, without Ketu's blessings, any spiritual ceremony, any auspicious event cannot take place. That also. So Ketu is the Karaka of joining also, not just breaking. Okay, so like that you have to look at it. So if both of you, if your relationship is based on spiritual connection, if you really feel that yes, there is a spiritual connect, then your relationship will definitely survive the test of time. and Ketu will continue to bless you. But again, if you feel that, okay, I'm dissatisfied in the relationship, I'm not happy in the relationship for some reason, it could be any reason, then eventually Ketu is there, so some sort of detachment. So when that spiritual connection is missing somehow, then that detachment on the physical level can happen if Ketu is involved. The spiritual connection is very important. Even if you make love to your partner, to your committed partner or spouse, no, that should be looked upon as a spiritual activity, and that is then Ketu will bind you together. Maybe, after marriage, people think of their family and they want to raise a family, they want to have a family with their partner. So it is all very sacred and spiritual, the institution of marriage. So when all of that, as long as that spiritual connect is there, the relationship will survive. The moment it is slowly somehow taking a back seat, somehow people are not feeling that connect anymore, then Ketu can also, as a planet which can also show dissatisfaction, frustration, indecision. It can create confusion also. And that is why, when people get married at an early age and they have Ketu conjunct with Venus or 7th Lord, what happens, or even their Darakaraka, and they got married at a very early age before attaining maturity, then they do not have that power to understand the depth of the relationship, that the relationship is a spiritual bond. And then I have seen that this Venus Ketu or conjunction, it can lead to separation also, because lack of maturity. So it's very easy for people to get frustrated, with even small things, frustrated over small things also, and that frustration, can deepen over time. It can go on deepening, and it can lead to that split in the relationship also. That happens when that maturity of understanding is not there. So even if you have Venus Ketu conjunction or 7th Lord Ketu, Darakaraka Ketu conjunction, you should get married to somebody at a mature age, after you have attained a level of maturity, and you have that ability to see things, understand things from a very mature, well balanced outlook, perspective. So only then you should get married, after attaining a certain level of maturity in age and experience. So yeah, all these things I can say, when Ketu is in conjunction with your 7th Lord Venus or Darakaraka, your person can really be very intuitive. At times you may feel that they are a little secretive and mysterious also, but they can be very intuitive, even creative. It's possible. They can also be very knowledgeable. They can give you good suggestions, advice also. You can turn to them for advice even. So yeah, all these things we can say, and they can be very religious, very dutiful towards you also. If Ketu's dispositor is well placed, they can be very responsible, very dutiful towards you. Okay? Alright, now let's move on to what will happen when this Venus 7th Lord or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Uranus. What will happen? Uranus is believed to co-rule the sign of Aquarius with Saturn, actually even with Rahu. So Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius. So, and it exalts in Scorpio. So the relationship again will be somewhat unpredictable. Uranus is the planet of unpredictability, sudden events, sudden happenings, things which are unprecedented, unexpected. Such things will happen. Suddenly you will come across somebody when Venus is in conjunction with Uranus, or when your 7th lord or Darakaraka has connection with Uranus. They may come into your life suddenly. And even the exit, God forbid, even the exit also may be sudden. Suddenly something will go terribly wrong and you may feel, okay, that's it. I can no more stay in this relationship and I'm done. You may feel that way also. And you will suddenly make this decision because maybe you have been suffering for a long time, obviously. Otherwise, no one can take such a big step. But you have been suffering somehow. So one day, suddenly the outburst may happen. But that outburst will come as a shock to everyone else. So that is Uranus, sudden happening. Even meeting that person also can be very sudden. So what can you do? What remedy you can do? With your partner, you should travel to different places. You should suddenly make plans of travel and don't tell others much about that. Okay? So you manifest something that we are going to travel to a place, and suddenly you make up a plan and both of you travel to different places and all that. All that will keep your relationship alive. Okay? Or if both of you are into occult practices, spiritual practices, then it's very good for the relationship. Okay? Yeah. So all these things we can say, and your person now will be, if Uranus is in conjunction with any of these planets, your person will have a very unconventional approach to life, to things in life, very unconventional. And they can also be someone who is who may not believe in traditional norms, societal rules, restrictions. They may have their own way of interpreting reality, of looking at things. Okay? A very unique, extraordinary perspective on life they may have, which could also be based on their observation. Okay? It can be based on their knowledge, also. So definitely, they can be someone who's very dynamic. Their outlook on life can be very, very modern and very, very unique and different from others. So they're very unconventional and they're unique. And your person will value individuality and freedom a lot in the relationship. They want their space. For them, their space is very important. Right? So yes, your relationship with your person will work when you give them space, when you give them their private, means definitely it's both of you will also share certain private spaces, but at times they may want space for themselves. Maybe they're planning out something regarding their career or something they're doing, for that they may need some space and time. So you must grant them that. So they want that space in the relationship, and they believe in individuality. They have a great sense of self-esteem also, and they want to assert their individuality. Okay, so that these qualities your partner may have. They can do very well in the field of research, investigation, technology. They can do very well even in the field of occult sciences. They can be a great healer also. So all these things, they can be very intuitive, even creative. So all these things we can say when Uranus is in conjunction with Venus, 7th Lord or Darakaraka. Alright, so now let's move on to what will happen when your 7th Lord Venus or Darakaraka is in conjunction with Neptune. Dreamy Neptune. Neptune is believed to co-rule Pisces with Jupiter, and Neptune exalts in Aquarius. So your person may be somebody who's very compassionate, very kind-hearted. They may also have a great desire to serve society, to get into humanitarian activities. They may want to develop, meaningful bonds with people in society, and they may reach out to the, helpless. They may reach out to the needy, to the poor, to the downtrodden. They can believe in charity. They can have great imaginative faculties. They will have great ideals and principles in life. They'll be very idealistic, great imaginative power. They can be very creative, very intuitive also. Very intuitive. So they can do very well in the field of occult sciences like astrology or tarot. They can be a great healer also. Very good healer. They can be a great psychologist. They can be into any sort of counseling activity. They can be large-hearted. They can be a visionary. They can be very forgiving. Okay? Very merciful, very compassionate by nature. So all these qualities. But yes, initially in life, they may be a little confused. That is also possible. They may at times be gripped by a sense of doubt, confusion, indecision also. And they need to go into isolation. They need to escape into some sort of isolation. They want that space for themselves, where they can sit down quietly in isolation and brood over things, and then make up their mind and then decide on their course of action. So they may require that space, where they need to be really alone in solitude. So they may even want to be at times away from their partner. Their partner may wonder why, but it's because, they want to regain their calm. That is why. So you need to give them that space. So if they really want to be in isolation sometimes, maybe in deep meditation, brooding over something, then grant them that space, that liberty. They will come back, don't worry. And they will come back to you with better energy, okay? With positive thoughts, with a sense of optimism, alright? So they need that period of isolation or solitude, because they are very creative people generally and very emotionally sensitive, alright? So yeah, your relationship will be wonderful with your partner if you have respect for their dreams, imagination, for their ideals, principles. You should respect all of that. But yes, your partner also needs to strike a balance between their ideals and reality, between their sense of idealism and between their confrontation of reality. They need to strike a balance between that also. Otherwise, if forever they are in the escapist mode, then definitely it's not going to be a good relationship. So your partner also needs to understand that it's okay to be in isolation for a while, but I have to strike a balance between idealism and reality, and I have to reach out to my partner. That's also something which your partner needs to realize, okay? Even in relationship, because Venus is with Neptune, so at times you may also have a tendency to idealize things in your relationship, but then you have to realize that in real life things don't happen in such an ideal way always. This is real life after all. So somehow you'll have to make compromises at times, and that's also very important to keep the relationship alive, okay? So alright, so to somehow you and your partner, both of you need to somehow strike a balance, a proper balance between your dreams and reality, okay? Your partner can do very well in any fields of study which is connected to secretive investigation. So any field of study, it could be the occult, it could be psychology, It could be any field. It could be any sort of healing practices. So they can do very well in these fields. They can do very well as a counselor. They may do very well if they're into stocks, shares and investments. They can do very well. So all these things. After your marriage, you may settle down in a foreign land. It's possible. Or your partner may belong to a foreign land. That's also possible. Okay? Alright, now finally let's move on to the final placement. So what will happen when your Venus 7th Lord or Darakaraka planet is in conjunction with Pluto? Okay. Pluto exalts in Leo and its own sign is Scorpio. Pluto is the planet of transformation, even sudden happenings, events, and it is also the planet which is connected with dominance, and hence its connection with Leo where it exalts. So when Pluto is in conjunction with Venus or 7th Lord or Darakaraka, what sort of partner you will have? Your partner may be a little dominating at times. You may feel that they are dominating, that they want to exert their authority over you. You may feel that. Okay? Your partner may always want to take control, take charge of everything. That's possible. Okay? Now, if they want to take charge of everything because they want you to relax and they want to provide you with comfort, then it is fine. Then it's a positive thing for the relationship. But if they want to take charge of everything only because they want to show off their dominance over you, or if they want to belittle you, then again it is not a good thing for the relationship. Pluto is connected with power dynamics in the relationship. So yes, so when Pluto is in conjunction, then you have to be very careful. Your partner may, strategically dominate you because just they want to control you. That's possible. So then you have to beware of such things. You have to be careful. Okay? Now, again, Pluto on the other side, or on the other hand, it can also show that your partner can have a very intense, passionate relationship with you. Okay? They may suddenly connect with you, and they may suddenly, want to get intimate with you. That is also possible, because Pluto is also a planet which is connected to suddenness of happenings and events, and even sudden expressions of desire. So that is possible, and they may want to really get intimate with you with a lot of passion. If that relationship or experience with your partner, if that transforms you as an individual, if it's a transformative experience for both of you, then your relationship is blessed and it's actually positive and things are looking up for both of you. Otherwise, it could be problematic, because Pluto can also be connected to exerting your authority, power, dominance. It can also show violence. There are partners who are sadists also. They want to inflict pain upon their person while in bed or in their intimate moments. They somehow derive pleasure by inflicting pain or causing pain to their partner. So that is again a red flag in the relationship. So then it is not going to be a relationship which is anyway this relationship is not going to work actually, and it should not work actually. So then definitely the relationship may come to an end, and even if you are in such a toxic relationship, then you need to move out of that relationship. Okay? So yeah, so all these things we can say, and but yes, if Pluto's dispositor is well placed in the chart, then definitely Your partner will want to have an intense, passionate relationship with you, which can transform your life. That experience can transform your being, and that is again a very positive thing for the partnership. Your person definitely may be somebody who's a deep thinker. They can be someone who's very intuitive, very creative, but yet who could be somebody who's very secretive also, very mysterious, and who can be very unpredictable also. Suddenly they may come up with things, suddenly they may reach out to you, suddenly they may demand things, and suddenly they may want to get intimate. Anything can happen suddenly. So that's what Pluto shows. Alright, your partner will do very well if they move into any field of research, investigation, occult. They can do very well. Alright, so they can be a great healer also. And so all these things with Pluto, we can say they can do very well in the field of engineering, technology. Basically, Pluto exalts in Leo. So if your partner goes on gaining knowledge in life, they will do very well. They need to gain knowledge, use their power of intuition and their creativity. They need to, use that, channelize their intuitive, creative energy, intellectual energy along a constructive direction. Then they will get wonderful results in their life. Okay? And then definitely you can have a meaningful relationship also with your partner. If your partner is somebody who is a seeker of knowledge and who's into research, investigation, then definitely you also need to support your partner in their endeavors. But yes, Venus Pluto can show that suddenly somebody may come into your life. Suddenly things may happen in the relationship. Okay, all these things it can show, and suddenly there can be a separation that can also be seen from Venus Pluto, or when Darakaraka or 7th Lord is in conjunction with Pluto. Then your partner may also be very unpredictable, and sudden things may happen, not just in their life but also in the sphere of your relationship with them. Okay, so friends, yes, that was my take on Pluto. So if your partner moves towards research, investigation, in-depth study, they will get wonderful results. They should enhance their power of intuition, their ability to do research. So they should enhance that, along with the passage of time, by, engaging themselves in meaningful studies and research. So friends, that was my take on what will happen when different planets, they will be in conjunction with Venus, the planet of relationship, or if any planet is in conjunction with your 7th Lord or Darakaraka, then what results you can get. So do let me know in the comment box. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want personal consultation, details are there in the video description. And friends, you can get in touch with me. And also I would like to say that finally, before I wind up the video, be kind and compassionate to the poor, the downtrodden. Donate some food, vegetarian food, to orphanages and old age homes. Be a vegetarian, be kind and merciful towards animals, birds and creatures. They too have the right to live. So see you next time, friends.